Hi, it's me again. If you watched the video of, I don't know what it's called yet because I filmed it just tonight, like 20 minutes ago, but about like giving yourself a break, I'll put it somewhere. Hi, it's me again. It's like 20 minutes later, and I can't stop thinking about parenthood. And I was remembering this other day, I was at the park. I was like, it doesn't matter. I was at the park, and there was this, I'm assuming a dad, and he was with his kids, and I'm just remembering it in my head. I'm so sorry. It's like a little picture in my head. There was this dad and his kids, and I'll be so real with y'all. Those kids are really bad. They were running away. They were not listening. The dad was like, "Yo, what are you doing? Why are you not listening to me today?" And they were just like, and like dipping and dodge, and they were a mess. It was a mess, and it was like spring break, you know. Everyone was losing their mind. It was a terrible time, you know? And that dad was stressed. And I remember that dad crashing out. And I remember feeling bad for the kids. I remember being like, oh, fuck, why are you yelling at them like that, you know? And it wasn't like dangerous, it wasn't like violent, it was just like, no, man, he was exhausted. He met his absolute wit's end and he crashed out. He was over spring break. And I remember feeling so bad for those kids, and I started judging that dad in my head. I did. And I remember I was with my friend, and she said something about like how she always gets so uncomfortable when something like that happens. And I'm like, yeah, no, me too. I always start feeling really bad for like that situation. Like, I feel so bad for those kids. Like, they don't deserve that. And then I'm like, wow, you nasty hypocrite. Because, like, no, I do get it. I do get it. God, I've also been that person who's met my wit's end, who's done every single thing that I could do, and it's just like not getting through, and I feel crazy, and then I'm like, what do you want from me? What am I supposed to be doing right now? You know? And then I have to be like, fuck, and I'd be like, hi, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to be mean, and I didn't mean to take my frustration out on you. And like, I am just frustrated because of this situation, and this is what's happening, and that doesn't excuse my behavior. I'm just telling you where I was and how I got there, and like, I need us both to be working on this. I need to work on handling the situation better, but like, you need to work on doing better, you know, and having those conversations with my kids. And then I'm like, no, I've been that dad. I remember, this is a long time ago. This was before I was like a good mom. This is when I was just like a mom. I was, God, 20, 21. I was a baby. I was a baby with a baby. I did my absolute best. She deserves all the props. She worked really, really hard to become this. She did amazing. She was not the best mom, and she was doing her best, but it was not the best, you know? And my son used to do this thing where he would just like lay on the floor when he didn't get what he wanted. And I don't believe in like yelling at children, and I don't believe in hitting children. I don't believe in any of that, you know? But we were in a parking lot of a grocery store. And I hope all of you just collectively went, because we were in a parking lot of a grocery store. And he got mad at me for something as I was taking him out of the cart, and I was holding his hand, and he just flung himself down on the concrete into the road because I'm at the trunk of the car, and I was just like, and there was cars, and like, they weren't close enough, but like, everything, your life flashes before your eyes, you know? And I lost it. Oh, I remember losing it. I remember being like, Leon, what are you doing? Why would you do something like this? How many times have I told you you're gonna get hit by a car? I don't want you to die. Why do you think this is a joke? Like, losing it. And I know that that girl was just at her wit's end. I know that they did their absolute best. I know that I had probably had that conversation 20,000 times that week, and that was the one that like broke me, you know? And then I feel bad for judging that dad in that park. You know? I've been there. Sometimes I still end up there, and it's not on purpose, and it's never as bad as it was the time before. But like, I'm also just learning. And I don't think I've realized the amount of ways that you can mess up as a parent until you've messed up that way as a parent, and then you're like, well, can't do that. And then you have to like heal from that, and you didn't know. And then I think about all those kids who wished someone spoke up for them and nobody did. I think about me as a kid and wishing someone spoke up for me and nobody did. And I don't know. I struggle with the balance. I struggle with the grace, but also I don't want to be a Karen. I struggle with the humanity of humanity, you know? Because that's a person. And an accusation in this day and age ruins families. And I think that makes everything worse. I think we're both judging everyone because everyone sucks. And we're also trying to give grace because everything sucks. And I don't regret not saying anything to that dad, because that dad did not do anything wrong. He really didn't. I do know that he was a good person, at least from what I saw, you know? I trust myself enough to know, but I also do know that sometimes it takes me a minute. Sometimes I have to sit there and I have to look at that situation and I have to think, what if it was me? You know, have I ever been that person? You have to be honest. You have to be able to say, yeah, I've messed up. Yeah, I've done wrong. Yeah, I've done something, not that, but something I'm not proud of along those lines, you know? I think the key to giving humanity is admitting you're a human. And that's not even the conversation I'm having right now. Anyway. Where's this little button?